Okay, there you go. This is one we played earlier.
Where are we?
First question. 1 second. Let me just find page Chof Ches, Choshe Mishpat. We're going to see that the Gemara. What? This is not my. This is not my Shulchan Aruch. Someone switched it with mine. Is that mine?
And I've got 8 of them.
I think it's yours.
You need to start. Okay. Here we go. Best play.
8 more style. Which one is more chashuv?
Good question. So we're going to see in the Shulchan Aruch that there is an Inyan called if someone is an alim, someone's strong, so we make him bring the Eidim. He has to bring the Eidim. Eidim say we don't want to show up, we're scared. Well, we're missing Svarim here?
No, mine's in the back. What's it? There's a sheriff now.
So the question is what's the point? I'm asking you a question. The psychological, what's the point of this alim bringing the Eidim? They're not going to testify. They'll testify the other way around. Like you're not going to gain anything from having this alim bring the Eidim, right?
Well, he's a tough guy, and he can only win with Eidim.
No, he's going to. The Eidim are against him. He's a tough guy, and the Eidim are going to testify against him. They don't want to testify. We say we don't want to testify. We don't testify against Al Capone. So the Shulchan Aruch says the alim has to bring the Eidim. Al Capone has to. He's the guy has to bring the Eidim. So that's the question. They're going to come and say Al Capone is the most honest guy I know. He never did anything wrong. He never borrowed money from anyone. Why would he borrow money? What's the point of bringing these Eidim to testify against the alim?
He has to bring Adam to defend him. The other guys.
No, he doesn't have to bring Eidim to defend him. We don't. The Eidim were coming against him, right? I'm going to court with. I'm going to base him with Al Capone, right? And they're not going to. I say I've got Eidim, but they're scared to come. They're not going to testify against Al Capone. So Baden says to Mr. Al, they say, Al, please, you've got to bring the Eidim. It's your responsibility to get these Eidim in court. That's the Shulchan Aruch.
But they committed suicide yesterday.
Right, but so
who
they haven't.
They committed suicide tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you.
Another joke. Guy goes over to Yankel and says, Yankel, how's the fire? Shh, it's not till tomorrow. Ma'aser Shahaya, I had the case. A guy came over to me in my warehouse. He says to me,
You want a fire?
I'm not going to say what type of guy he was. We're going to spell details. No, he comes over to me and says, I want to buy from you. Now, normally this is a shrewd negotiator. He's going to bargain down in price for hours a pick. I want to buy all your stock towels. Give me everything. What do you have? How much are you giving me? I want 30,000 shekels worth of towels. What do you have? It doesn't matter. Give me 30,000 shekels. How are you going to take it? He's like, keep it here. I'll pick up in a couple of weeks. Okay, I'll charge you extra for storage, but set me an order. Put me down in 30,000 shekels of towels. And pick it up in a couple of weeks.
He's still coming.
And he put the place on fire?
Then I heard 2 days later his place went on fire.
His place.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. You never know.
He had an invoice.
Huh? He had an. So what happens is I was trying to understand like how it works. He has an invoice. He goes to the store and says, "Look, I just bought 30,000 shekels worth of towels. So I can sell it at 60,000 shekels. Now he can sell them. They give him 60,000 shekels. Then he can sell them at 60,000 shekels without paying VAT because he doesn't have the towels. It's all under the table. So he makes like triple the money. It's like a crazy business. I have no idea. Maybe he didn't do that. I'm assuming he didn't. You know.
Why would he do that? And then you also gave him the towels.
And then I gave him. Yeah, of course. Right. Yeah. He wanted his towels. He was like, "Those are my towels." I can't believe it. Let's go 50-50. That's what I told him. So it doesn't work like that.
So the 2 fellows were on the plane going to Miami. How come you're in Miami? I had a fire. I had a flood. How'd you make a flood? That's the point.
Okay, so what's the point of the alim making the alim bring the Eidim? They're going to lie. They're going to play games. Like they're not going to help. What did Toen Rabani say?
The answer is obvious.
That what?
You want the alim to realise that the business is serious, and we need you to get involved.
Maybe.
So,
We'll see. We'll see. The place can say it differently. Okay.
The answer's in the Shulchan Aruch, right?
Yeah, we're going to see that.
What out?
not there yet.
We'll get. Hold on 1 minute.
Next question.
Now there's a din that we're going to see that the Eidim have to stand and the Dayanim have to sit.
Yeah.
What happens if the base din is standing? Is it chal? Can I hear Eidim standing up? the Dayanim are like, they've got no chairs, can they stand up and hear the din Torah? B'diavad,
The
lechatchila,
whole thing's out the window.
or the whole thing's out the window. Anyone has any ideas?
Gotta be b'diavad.
What? It's a puzzle. The puzzle says v'omdu, right? You understand?
Also has to be in
So
the
l'chayra
daytime.
b'diavad is chal. But here's the question: 3 people are walking in the shuk. The Eidim are in the basin's in the shuk, and they're standing up, and they hear Eidos standing up. Is that Eidos? Is it chal in the shuk? Is there a difference? So this is where the basin is.
You can't concentrate. You can't.
So it's puzzle. You can't paskin.
No, this
Puzzle.
Wait, what does that mean then, shuk and the base? It's either a basin or
It's
it's a
out there in the
shuk.
street. They're in the street. There are 3 guys walking down
I'm
the
having an
street.
argument with a
3
vendor.
Dayanim are walking to shul on Shabbos.
Are they making a basin, or they just happen to be 3 guys in a
How'd
row?
you make a basin? What do? They do hocus pocus? They're standing in the shuk. Someone comes up and says, "Listen, this is a din Torah." 2
That's how you
guys.
make it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You come up to them and say, "Will you
Or
please do it?"
or they've already heard, or they're already in the middle of a din Torah. Let's say they're in the middle of a din Torah, Reuven against Shimon. They're walking home from the basin, and they see a storekeeper. They say, "Tell me, Rabbi Yankel, did you hear what happened? Did you see what happened? Were you there?" He said, "Yeah." So they're hearing the testimony in the shuk standing up. Is that mutar?
It doesn't have to be with the litigants.
Does it have to be in front of the litigants? It's a good kasha.
Eid Echad again.
Let's say they're there. Maybe the litigants are there.
Back to Eid Echad.
But the basin, the shayla is the Eidim is standing up. But the basin is standing up.
It's not psul in the bezin because they're standing. It's not psul in the
They have
Eidos.
to stand up.
Well, I thought the 8 had to stand.
The Eidim has to stand. The basin has to sit.
Yeah.
But the basin is in the shuk
Does
standing.
it says the basin has to sit?
The basin has to sit.
Because
What does it
they-
say in the pasuk? It
Because
says,
the Eidim have to stand. Waarom do staan anosim?
we'll see. Did I bring my glasses? No. Warum du schnell anoshim lifnei Elokim? Echal daina dayanim yoyishvim. You see from that the dayanim have to sit. It's like a pasuk.
Like in Sanhedrin.
Yeah, they sit down. So there's a work in the shuk. You say it's supposed to that it's what? That it helps?
Yes.
If there's no chairs, then
No chairs available.
then it's fine.
Standing room only. It's fine. Everyone agrees?
Yeah.
No, Ben doesn't agree. Okay.
I'm wrong.
Not so partial. We'll see.
The issue, how does the standing sitting affect the Eidos? The Eidos is Eidos. The Dayan is one thing. If they're standing, they can't pass the Shiloh.
No. You're going to sit.
The
But we
Eidim
can't.
should be doing the
There's a
same
certain,
thing and in the same
it's a certain lack of yeshiva das. If you're standing
you
up, if
never
you're standing
said.
up and someone comes to you and asks you a question, you're sitting down. You have a whole different yeshiva from the word sitting, I guess. No, yeshiva das. When you sit down, you think something through. It's interesting because the Gemara says about certain Tana was so great. This Torah was only standing up. He learned only standing up. We're not on that diagram anymore, but he never learned sitting down. Who was it about? I can't remember. Unfortunately, maybe Yonis Minazil.
Shimon Esra is standing up.
He learned Torah standing up. That was his
Learn
diagram.
that standing up.
Exactly. Actually, my step grandfather told me that. I'll tell you a story. I think I said it here before already once. No.
Where his family keep promising.
About Reb Chaim Dov Rabinovich. When he was learning in Reb Chaim Vasman's yeshiva, he had night seder off, so he learned the whole Kutzais Baal Peh standing up. He stood up to keep him awake. He was like a young guy. So by the age of 16, he knew the whole Kutzais Baal Peh.
That's
right?
all.
Yeah.
That's all.
So when he went to Reb Shimon Shkop for hair, he knew the whole Kutzais Baal Peh already.
Over here the story.
But the story is that the guy in front of him was doing a fahed. Now he was very young. He was a very small man, and he was very young. Like you had to be, I think, 16 to get into yeshiva. And he was 14, so he was like much smaller than everyone else. He was waiting in line, and in front of him was a guy, a bacha, who was doing a fahed, and he said something. He said a shikol Torah, and Reb Shimon said, "You have a right." So the guy said, "It's a the guy said." I can't remember. She said, it doesn't make any sense. I can't remember exactly the story. I'm getting confused. He says, it's what's called. Bring a riot. So my step grandfather was standing behind him. He said, the Kutzais says such a thing. It's a Kutzais. So Shimon says, there's no Kutzais. It's not a Kutzais. Now, so he's like, no, it's a Kutzais. His father was with him. His father was a Rav. He said, no, tell him, zog him, don't be shy. He said, it's a Kutzais. It's a first Kutzais. He said, there's no Kutzais. This is not a Kutzais. Then he gets up, puts his hands on the table. Ich bin der Balabas from the Kutzais. This is not Kutzais. I'm the Balabas of the Kutzais. I'm the landlord of the Kutzais. Right? There's no Kutzais. So he took out from the safe. He showed them. Okay, you're in yeshiva. Fine. That was the story. He was the youngest guy in yeshiva.
Love
Shimon.
this story.
So anyway, so there's a musik to learn standing up. It helps, I guess.
When did they stop learning standing up?
People got tired.
When they invented comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
I know.
Kettle.
I know you've learned standing.
Stifler and all the other people would sit on three-legged chairs with no backs, so they shouldn't fall asleep and they shouldn't be comfortable.
They say about the Rogachev, you mentioned Rogachev yesterday, that he had long hair. He tied it to the
Tied
head
his head.
To the
to the
bed,
post
so-
behind him. So when he fall asleep, it would like jerk his head.
That's why a lot of people in Kalbach grow their hair long.
Yeah.
You want to borrow the safe? It's 700 pages.
When you finish it, give it to me.
Yeah, I want it back. People like it. You can have it back myself if you want.
Okay, so let's take a look. We'll start with where we were up to over here. 1 second.
Took an hour or two.
Kuf.
We're going to start in the tour on Kuf Sadi Zion. I don't think we saw this right.
We were in Mem Test before.
We were in. Turn to page Kuf Sadi Zion in the tour. Page Kuf Sadi Test. Kuf Sadi Zion. Simen Chof Ches in the tour. Ice Hay.
It's in Nunheim.
Ice Hay.
That's the beginning.
What? You're in the. Yeah,
Cool.
in the tour.
It's in Nunheim, not Chofheim. Unless they've got.
Chof Ches. Simen Chof Ches.
Why do they say Nunheim here? It's Nunheim.
Good set of guys.
As well as the
Page Kuf Tzadik Zayin.
Page Kuf Tzadik
First Kuf
Zayin.
Zayin.
It's
In
a
the
very-
tour,
it's-
that's
it's a
Kuf
very-
Tzadik Zayin. No, but you're in the Shulchan Aruch.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I apologize. I apologize.
No,
Right at
it's,
the
no,
beginning of
it's
the
in the
book.
front of the book. It's in the very front.
Apparently, there's like 3 different Kuf Sadi Zayins. It's very confusing over here.
Amandi's Hilchot.
It's Kuf Tzadik Zayin 1.
It's basically like 30 pages into the book, something like that.
There is
It's
one-
page 197. It's about the 30th page of the book.
there
And
is
it's the,
there is another.
I think some.
that's the first
There is
page.
another Kuf Tzadik Zayin, it's Hilchot Niddah.
I think they lost the idea of the whole page number thing. I think they lost track of what the whole
Oh, yeah,
point
it
was.
starts in Kuf Tzadik Gimel.
Yeah, so Kuf Sadi Zayin, 3 pages in.
Aleph. Kuf Tzadik Aleph.
V'ma'ei Talmud Chacham.
That's
Hey. Bottom line.
You guys got it?
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Second to the last line of the tour.
V'ma'ei Talmud Chacham Gnai Leilech Etzel Beisin HaKotim V'menu. You know, it's such a bizarre for me to have to schlep out and be testify in front of, a small base bin. Ein Chayiv Leilech, he doesn't have to go. But Medvaru V'vedus Moment. That's Legabe financial testimony. Aber beit sheish bo itzad, afur shemisura chayiv leilach shei chochma nitvuna legadesh. Turn back. Obviously, when it comes to the chiddush is that I have to be mevazim myself to be testified. A huge Talmud Chacham has to be mevazim himself, testify in front of a small base din.
Why is it
Legabe Issa.
the fast there? If somebody's
We don't,
B'chol
because we
Shabbos-
don't have respect for Kovedat Torah. We think, so what? This guy has to schlep out there. You imagine you drag your Moshe Rabbeinu to testify in front of 3 balabatim about I don't know what about something. It's a bizarre
I
Torah.
remember the Rav of my town running for the bus in Antwerp to Brussels, and he said, "Where's the Kovlatarian?" He was running to get the train. Where's the Kovlatarian? And there's a certain way
Yeah.
there.
To be interrogated by somebody, start asking questions in front of him, violate him. Kilo, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Kilo, he's a liar. Yeah, I mean, he testifies. And they're going to start. They're going to start interrogating him. His testimony is nothing if he just comes in there and says, "You should know this is
The
happening."
Choshed is
They have
having
to-
a chakra.
No, they have to interrogate him. They have to have a fair license of play, whatever. They got to ask him questions, and it's a massive design for this guy.
Yeah, but they're not going to ask questions which are bizarre. They ask you questions which are halachi.
Any question you ask someone, it's a design. I said my piece. I came and said what happens. Now you ask me questions. Well, you don't trust me. You think I'm lying to you? So it's a design that they could someone who's
Interrogate him.
someone who's treated with respect his entire life. They say about Rely Lopian that someone said he's such a bad medicine, never gets angry. He's always nice. So he said it's a big tias because I'm this big Rosh Hashiva. Whoever does anything to upset me, everyone's so careful around me, right? That's not called a bal midas. Maybe if someone would, treat me like they treat someone else, then you don't know.
So if they came to you about this 30,000 shekels, what would you have said? I bought it, I sold it, he was going to, whatever you said is not going to cause any friction anywhere. Yeah, we've been Talmud Chacham, that's what I'm asking, we've been Talmud Chacham.
Well, okay, so take a look at the Beis Yosef. Kuf Tzadi Zayin letter Hey. Vim ha'ei Talmud Chacham. Perk Shavuos Eid, Staf Lamed Omer Beis. We're on Kuf Tzadi Zayin in the Beis Yosef. You got it, everybody say? One page over, the page back, we flip the page. Go back. Vim ha'ei Talmud Chacham. Perek Shavuos Ha'edus.
Coming up in about 3-4 weeks, 3-4 months.
Amar Rabba Baruch Huna, Haitzuva B'Rabbanan, and this Talmud Chacham, the other B'Sadusa, he knows testimony. V'zila be'milsa le'mezel be'dina dezuta minei. And it's a design for him to go ahead and not testify in front of some small beis din. L'asude kamei. Loy lezel. Don't go, you shouldn't go. First Gemara, you want to know like what it say? Don't go. Hani Mili says the Gemara b'Mamayna. Aber b'Sura ein Chachma vein Tvuna vein Eitz Neged Asher.
Brilliant idea. Use the Rav of the city as your aid if you're ever doing a deal. Oh, bring the Rav.
So now, question: is he allowed to go? Is he allowed to be mevaz himself?
He's allowed to, but Rabban are very machmer on this.
One sec, tell me the situation.
Not for moment, but yes.
I lend you money, and I'm like, we need an aid. So I bring in the Rav of the city. I'm like, who's a better aid than that?
Did I pay or I didn't pay? What's his aidus?
Either way.
No, there's a big difference.
Why? What's the difference?
The fellow who owes the money is a poor man, and if
You don't care if he's poor or he's not poor.
If you can prove he doesn't owe, he's done a mitzvah.
You're doing a mitzvah either way. It says in the Torah, there's a 100 mitzvahs. You muchayev to help him. Hashavas Aveda, we'll see it's a mitzvah. Hashavas Aveda testify. You over you already over Imla Yagi V'Nasa Veinai. There's like a dozen mitzvahs over here. What do you mean? Just because if he's poor, okay. So you were kaim chesed. It's not chesed. It's not your money. You didn't do chesed. You helped out a poor guy. Okay. Shkoyach. Rich people don't need money. They do.
No, I'm saying, will he be in a town?
To be,
What are you, a communist?
It's also to side with the poor guy.
It's also, yeah. It's
No. What I'm trying to say is, if he's a Talmud Chacham and he realizes the need of the fella, is he more likely to testify, even though it's...
Well, it's discovered a Torah. I don't know. Pirush Rashi. What does Rashi say? Kagoyin Isha Balifnei Chacham Latira Linasei. A woman comes in front of, I guess, based in Latira Linasei. She wants to get married. The Talmud Zeh Yedei Shabbat Chai, and his Rav knows that the husband's alive. He's a witness. The husband's alive. So what? He's going to sit there quietly. She goes and gets married. Eishes Ish, over the biggest sister in the Torah. He's going to keep quiet. Say, listen, she's married.
The Talmud is the Chacham?
No. There's two people. One, she goes in front of Basin to get married, and then this Talmud Chacham knows that the husband's still alive. She says the husband's dead. He knows. We just had a conversation with him 5 minutes ago. He's alive and kicking. So he can't keep quiet. He's got to come and say, listen, the husband's alive. She's married.
It's Issa, we said it's a Shayla.
Right. So he's saying that. So that's Rashi's explaining what we're talking about. Pirush Rashi, what's the case? Kagayin Isha Bala Chacham Latira. The Tamza Yedesha Bala Chai. Ein Chacham V'Tun Neged Hashem. He's got to say. Kalema. The other meaning Aval B'Sura. Ein HaKavon Shemedei Eidus B'Dova Issa. Ben She'edus Lahat Eloi Oy Le'esar. Ele B'Sura Pirushai Kushe'edus Le'esar. What does it mean, Le'esura? The Eidus is gonna... Here, the Chacham, in the case that Rashi brings, he's not saying that someone's Asa. He's not saying that it's a treif piece of meat. The Chacham is saying that the husband's alive. That in itself is not like, this is treif, this is kosher. You're creating an Issa. That's what it means. Whenever the Chacham creates an Issa by his testimony, he has to speak up. Pirushay k'she'edus lesor. Then he has to testify. V'huchuch lefarish kain. And Rashi has to explain like this. Midaminan, kol mokim sheish b'chil Hashem, ve'en ha-beis waits in lesor, v'zeh yedei edus lahatir, if Basin want to Asa and he has and he could be matir, let's say Basin's about to say, you know what? We don't know. Maybe the husband's alive. She can't get married, and he knows he saw the husband getting killed. Then there's not going to be a chil Hashem. If Basin says she can't get married, and he knows that the husband's dead, does he have to testify? No. That's what he means. Only if it's going to be asa. The chacham has to come to asa. If the edus is lahatir, he doesn't have to testify. Because of bein rucham, the edus the lake surah ain't no bala based in akotam menu. Al sheikhan lo yamei fe based in aveish lucham. He doesn't have to testify lahatir. Now you still have a kasha here. A big kasha here. Does he have to testify the husband's? Let's say he knows the husband's dead. The basin wants to say she can't get married. He knows the husband's dead. Does he have to testify?
Yes.
Why?
So master has the shuk. They should get married.
Well, yeah.
But he says only lesser. The chacham that ain't saying word neged Hashem is only lesser. That there should be a chil Hashem that this woman gets married, and then 3 weeks later the first husband shows up and says, "How come you're married? Are we married? What happened? I remember giving you a get." And she says, "I went to Basin. The Basin said, mutter." So Master Chil Hashem was Basin doing being matter Eish. So exactly. So she has to speak up. So the Chacham has to speak up. There shouldn't be Chil Hashem. There shouldn't be Surim. But the Chacham has to come in, be mevaz himself, right? Tremendous busha in order that she should get married. She'll
Especially when he
stay
admits
single.
where he saw the husband.
She'll stay single. She'll stay single. What does she have to go? What does she have to
Why should she be happy? Yeah, go.
There should be a big kasha. There's a big kasha here. We'll see it. But the kasha is that.
She stays single, no?
So she'll stay single. But what's going to happen? A guy married
Why
her.
should she be happy?
So what's going to happen? You should ask the kasha. What's going to happen? Someone's going to be married her, and she'll say, "Sorry, she's she's not typhus," and the guy's going to marry her sister. And then he's going to be able to Issa. Either way, you could create the Issa. Yeah. Let's say the basin says she's Asa. This Chacham says, I'm not going to say anything, she's Asa, that's fine. I don't have to be muvazah myself to be mata, to say the husband's dead. Right. She'll stay Asa. You know, she's already not the lady. Yeah, I know she's not such grace to Messiah anyway. It's better that she stays single, right? So he keeps his mouth shut. So what happens? Some guy tries to marry her. Right, and then they say, no, she's Eishes Ish. The condition ain't in Taisim. But really, what was it then? The condition was Taisis because the husband's dead. So now this guy tried to marry her, says, "Okay, I can't marry you, at least I'll marry your sister." Right? So he marries a sister. Right? So now he's married, it's Achais Ishtay. He just married the sister of his wife.
No.
Why not?
The husband's dead.
Oh, that's what he's saying.
Because the husband's dead. The second guy comes to marry her. We thought that wasn't typhus. Because
she can't get married. She
can't get married because the husband's alive. That's what the basin says. She can't get married. But really, the husband is dead. And really, she's muteris l'kol olam. So this guy comes now. Reuven comes to marry her. And basin says, "No, it's not typhus. Go home. You don't have to give a get." She's married. She's a married woman. But really, she wasn't married because the husband's dead. So really, the condition for Reuven was typhus. Now he marries her sister. Now he marries Achos Ishtay. Also, he marries a mother, a daughter, whatever it is. He thinks that he thinks he's not married to her.
When did that first marriage take place?
So I'll spell out the case from the beginning. Rachel's married to Yaakov.
In
right?
Bermuda.
Rachel's married to Yaakov. Right? That's Rachel's married to Yaakov.
Yaakov goes to the...
Yaakov goes on vacation with the Rav. And the Rav sees he's dead. Rav sees the guy died in a car crash. Come back and he's like, "I'm not testifying." She says, "I want to get remarried." He hasn't come back in 10 years. Right? The Rav saw he died, but he doesn't want to involve himself to go to this lowly basin. So the Rav's like, "I'm not going to get involved." She's also, the basin says, "Look, she might still be alive. You've got no proof."
Anyway, it's going to be bad for the kids. They're going to have a step.
You've got no proof. You're Eishes Ish. Till he shows up, you need to get your Eishes Ish.
He makes his
So she's sitting there, she's an Eishes Ish for the rest of her life. In the meantime, right? In the meantime, Reuven comes along, says, "Hurry up, Mukadeshusli."
Doesn't work.
I think you're single. Right? She takes the ring in front of Adam, a regular Kedushin. They shop in Basin. The Basin say, I told you already, you're a married woman, you need a get. Right?
Okay.
But really we know, or this Chacham knows at least, he saw the husband die. Really, the husband died and she's single. So when Reuben said he's marrying Rachel, the Kedushin was typhus.
Based in this oiker, the Nisuin.
They're not Ikeni, they weren't Ikeni Nisur. No. But they said that she's still married to Yaakov, and therefore the marriage to Reuven is in Chal. So Reuven thinks he's not married to Rachel because she's already married. So who else can he marry? He looks around, there's no one else in the market. He marries a sister. But really, he marries a sister. He thinks it's bad because he thinks his Kedushin to Rachel wasn't typhus. So now he marries Leah. But his Kedushin to Rachel was really typhus because Rachel was never married. Because her husband died 10 years ago in Bermuda, wherever it was. Now this Chacham knows about it, and he kept his mouth shut. He kept his mouth shut. She would have opened his mouth. So basically what he said, what the Kasha, some lady with his Kasha is, what are you saying that he only has to testify Lazar, he also has to testify Lahatir? Because Lahatir is also Lazar.
Aye.
If she's walking around thinking she's married and she's not married, right?
Every colour.
You can make it even more simple. Let's say she's Mizana, right? Nowadays we don't kill. But in the good old days, she would have been Mizana. They would have killed her, right? She's anxious, kill her. He knows that she's not married. You can't kill her. It's Ratzicha. So he's got to testify. He's got to testify. Say, no, she's a single woman. Her husband's dead. Her husband's dead.
And we believe him.
Is there a sneous way that he could testify that's less
Fundamentally,
insulting to
There's
his? He goes up to the base then and he says, "Listen, I have information that you need to know."
So through shlichim, he can maybe testify through.
but fundamentally, although this will make sense, why is it that when it comes to money,
No.
then there's no reason there's no.
I thought a shliach couldn't be a.
Like, I know that this
maybe my
chicken
money has to
is not
pay
the right
because my
hefsher.
money he can pay. My money maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
he could pay
Some
the
place say
Balachal
he has to pay out of his pocket.
Mechila,
Yeah, cover the Torah. Yeah, so pay maybe. There was an interesting case. I think it was with the.
Real test of
They say
confidence.
mammon, but not
I think it was with the Chavaz Yar.
Yes, but not mammon here.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to testify.
By
for mammon.
basically, by moment he doesn't have to. So basically he has to. Any is but only Lasar. Now we're saying even Lahatir L'chaira. Because
Chavos Yoya.
even Lahatir. There's a shayla the Chavaz Yar. A woman is getting married to Kayan. It's a Sheva Brachas. They're about to do all the Sheva Brachas. Isha's marrying a Kayan. Then she goes over to the Chavaz Yar. I think it was Chavaz Yar. She came over to someone who told the Chavaz Yar to write the shayla down. She comes over and someone says, listen, was it Kayan? No, it was a regular. Was it Kayan or not Kayan? I can't remember. Hold
She was
on.
married.
She was Mazana. She's no longer a, and therefore you don't make the Sheva Brachas. Was that the child? You can't make Sheva Brachas. She's already married. She went off the derech. She got married. She came back. She's a Goreshes. No Sheva Brachas. Right?
One day. Yeah, go on.
Okay, she only gets Sheva Brachas the first day, and here she wants Sheva Brachas not Kayan. It's a regular Isha. Can we make Sheva Brachas? What do you do? Now he's an Alacha guy marrying this Alacha girl. If the Chavaz Yar claps on the table and says no Sheva Brachas, it's cancelled. Why? What happened? She was married. The end of the shidduch cancelled. It's all over.
Yeah.
So what's the issa here? You're going to have brachas levatala, bracha levatala. So the Chavaz Yar says that it's a suffix. It's not a suffix. It's a issa d'Rabbanan b'sheigeg. Because if the guy doesn't know, it's Issa Rabbanan B'Sheigeg, which we hold you don't need to do tshuva for. If you're able to Issa Rabbanan B'Sheigeg, you don't need to do tshuva. You don't need
What's
to
the
come.
Isra and B'Shegeg? Is
The-
the
the-
Rabbanan of saying Shem Hashem?
Yeah, the guy Bracha Levatol is Issa Rabbanan. Some hold it's Doraisa.
B'Shogeg.
It's Issa Rabbanan.
It's the Rabbanan?
No.
Some say it's Doraisa.
Shogeg.
But Pashas is Dorabanan. Yeah.
But he's not making the brachas.
No, but whoever makes Sheva Brachas, you're going to call up. They go over to some Talmud
So you
Chacham.
just don't tell them and let them be
Don't tell
B'Shegeg?
them. He makes a Bracha B'Sheigeg, and if he doesn't have to tshuva for it, it means for Shalom Bayzan or what. Boom. No need to say.
Yeah, the exact opposite of the Eliashiv. where someone said that they had a baby and they wanted to make a pidyon ben, and someone went out to Rabbi Yosh says, I happen to know that this girl can't make a pidyon ben. And her husband never knew. And Rabbi Yosh said, you have to tell him, even if they get divorced.
Never heard that story before.
What you have heard is Rabbi Moshe. Rabbi Moshe under the chuppah. Under the chuppah.
Nothing, keep going.
What?
It's nothing in and out, man.
And then I'm finished. Let me
That we've heard.
Yeah.
That's Rabbi Moshe. That's enough. Finish.
Okay, so it says did we finish this Beisha?
So no Yehuda, you said. No Yehuda.
Let's keep going.
Something left over.
Because Rabbi Yerucham, the Be'edis Leke is Surah, Einu Bala Basin Akatamenu, Ela Shalchin Lo Yameid, B'fnei Basin, Oy B'fnei Shlucham. If there's no Issav, there's just Mammon, so what you do, they send Shluchim.
2 or 3 the Shairan. Yes,
Take an affidavit.
Yeah.
Peak summon, PM led peak summon is a problem about Shtar.
Now turn the page in the Shulchan in the Torah.
Einu bala beis din hakatan, v'menu el sholchin lo.
Yeah.
Amen b'fnei.
Turn the page to 1 second. It's the next stickle, but we'll see it anyway now. This is already in the Torah. Turn 2 pages to Reish. Yeah, you're in Reish, I see.
Right, yeah.
Actually, we'll see the last line in Kuf Tzadik Tes. It starts the last line in Kuf Tzadik Tes. We scare the Eidim, we scare the witnesses, Shalai Idu Shekar, that they shouldn't testify falsely. What do we say? Umeidim lehem. You know, we tell them, Ein sheshal made Idu Shekar, v'shu bazoi be'einei asaychrei. That's the Gemara says. How do you scare the Eidim? The maskana of the Gemara is like, we tell them that you machriv shemaim v'aretz. The maskana of the Gemara is we tell them that even the guy that's paying you to lie, sheker, he is disgusted by you. That's the ultimate, person wants his covered more than anything else. At least, okay, this guy, the guy that's paying me likes me. No, even that guy hates your guts. Thinks, what a disgusting person you are. You made a sheker. That's the ultimate thing. Ubaitkin, that says it all. Ubaitkin chalecha levadoi. And then we check each aid by himself, 1 page reish. 3rd line in the Torah. Then we check each aid by himself. Loimar. How do you know Reuven or Shimon? If he says Shamava or Eloiva, Omali, they told me. That's how I know. Someone else told me, Shukasha Beinai, my Rav was a big tzaddik, told me that Reuven or Shimon Mani. Maman in the boy, and I believe him. That's nothing. If this guy says Eid Mipied, it's all nothing. Unless he says, I saw him borrow the money, I saw him giving the money in his hand. This is a bit of a chiddush. If he says Befonai Hoidelai, if the aid says Reuven was made in front of me to Shimon, V'omar atem Eidai, and he was made and he says, you are my witnesses. Kasha Yisrael Be'ezras Hashem. So, according to the Torah, if Reuven was made to Shimon in front of Eidim, and he says atem Eidai, then that's a good testimony, and you can be some moment with that.
What's wrong with that?
Take a look in the Beis Yosef, letter Ches, 3/4 down the page. Mishnah. Sham. Case of Beit Eidim. How do you check the Eidim? It says in the Mishnah, Machnisin Oisam, we put them in a room, Umaymin Alein, and we start scaring them with your buzzer, even Beini Asaychrei. Mitzin Kolachalochos. Then we take out everybody. Misharim Esagodol Shebehem. We first keep the bigger one there. V'aimim Loi Heichat Yedea. How do you know? She's a Chayv Lezeh Klum. Im Amar Hu Amali Shechayv Loi. Or Yesh Pleni Amali Shechayv Loi. Einay Klum. Ad She'emar B'fneinu Hoidesh Hu Chayev Loi. Unless, says the Mishnah, the guy says he was made in front of us. Notice he doesn't say the words Vatemedai in the Mishnah. So then we check the second guy, same thing. Pirush Rashi, hu oimeli, halei oimeli, lo yam klum, the Avid inish da maplaini neisha bika de shalech zeku ashir. If Reuven comes over to me and says, you should know that I owe your uncle $1 million, right? You can't testify that. You know why?
Don't believe it.
Because we don't believe it. You know why he's telling you that he owes money? Because you're asking for stock every 5 minutes. You want to, you know what? You know how much money I owe this guy? I owe millions. Okay, that's why. He doesn't want people to think he's an usher, so he made up the story. But if he's made that to Reuven, he says he's made that in front of Adam, to Reuven, I owe Reuven money. That already means business. No one does that. Okay, Shulchan Aruch. Turn to Shulchan Aruch, page Kuf Samach Vav.
Kuf Samach, what?
Vav.
Wait, this is still the Torah.
You're still in the Torah, yeah.
Wait, why does it have two Kufsamah?
You're in the Torah. Go to the Shulchan Aruch part.
Yeah.
You mean you got two songs in the Torah, yeah. I haven't worked out how they printed this thing.
Where?
Okay, we're in, I think, the Sma. Hold on. 1 second, where are we up to? Give me a second. Okay, hey, we'll see hay. I think we started hay already. Yeah, we saw hay inside in the Shulchan Aruch.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, we saw it inside. We'll see it again. Good idea. Tau Choshe Eidus Yisrael. Tau Chacham knows Eidus against Yisrael. The Tovish Yoy Lefnei Beis Kotum Menu. Ein Eidus Mammon. Im Eidus Mammon. Einu Chayav Leilech L'Hoid. If it's financial, the Tau Chacham is not mechuyev to go. Says the Ramah Shaykhem Leilev Meid. They send him Eidim. We saw it means 3. Aval im yesh boy tzad if Misra Chayav Leilech L'Hoid. If there's a tzad that is going to stop him being over Issa, then you have to testify. If you have Eidim, you got to schlep them to Beis Din. If Beis Din knows that this guy is violent, says the Shulchan Aruch, and the defendant says that this guy is, the Eidim is scared to come, says the Ramah v'yesh chachal advar,
Prove it.
and he can prove it. I basin kaifin as baldinai. The basin force the baldinai ilim shiyavi hu eidim. They force the violent guy to bring the eidim. Geen kolees b'ram elu danim b'haim leilim la'alim. Says the Gemara. Says Mechaber tzricham eidim chatchila lahayid mu'omad. People have to testify standing up. From eitam chacham. If you're Tam Chacham, you're testifying. Meshiva Noisai. V'im ay Tam Chacham, Meshiva Noisai. You can sit down. Tam Chacham will sit down. Not that you're not there. Everyone's Tamid Chacham will sit down. Says.
Come outside and I'll tell you.
Take a look in the Sma. Chof Ches.
What's Lechat Chila?
Which Lechat Chila?
Tzrichim Eidim Lechat Chila La'id Mene Umad.
They should no.
So it's
yeah.
Chila means Lavdav.
Ignore the Lamanala. Ignore it.
That's what it says?
Tzrichim Eidim Lechat Chila La'id Moment. They have to testify standing up. You mean why Lechat Chila? But yeah, but they yaitza. If they do sitting down, it means they yaitza. Lechat Chila, they should do it standing up. The guy comes in, his foot hurts him. Okay, you can sit down. It's fine, right? Take a look at the Sma Lelachov Ches. Tzad Efushim Yisura. I am Prish V'Drisha Sham Kasafti.
Where?
On page Kuf Samach Vav, halfway down in the Sma Lelachov Ches.
Got it.
Tzad Efushim Yisura. I am Prish V'Drisha Sham Kasafti. The The line by him based in Leitzim Lahatir Isha, Shesavrim Shemeis Baila. Not just in a case where Basin thinks the husband's dead and they want to let this woman out to get remarried. The husband knows he's alive and kicking, he's in Vegas having a good time. He has to testify. Of course, then he has to testify. Even in the opposite case. Even if Basin wants to say she can't get married, and he knows the guy died, because what's going to happen? Someone else is going to marry her, and then everyone's going to say, no, she's married, and the condition isn't chal. He's going to get remarried to somebody else. Which I guess is over b'sheigeg the Toen Rabani Gasha. Maybe that's what he's saying. Or he's going to marry this woman's sister. He's not going to be chayshish to the first condition. He's going to say she was married. So this is a chumrah that's going to lead to a big kula that she's going to get. He's going to marry his wife's sister. That's why the Torah said the Lashon Sadif Fushim Isra, even if there's some angle they could lead to Issa, he has to testify. Not just if he's coming and saying she's Asa. Even if eventually it could lead to an Issa, Sad. He's medaklik the Lashon of the Torah. There's a Sadif Fushim Isra, he has to testify. V'loik Beis Yosef, and not like the Beis Yosef, the Shekosov Al Pi Rashi, Chai Gav Nein Tzach Lai. So you got a machlokes. The Beis Yosef said the Talmid Chacham doesn't have to testify to be mater her, only to asa her. Says the Sma, it's always dangerous. He's always got to testify because it could always lead to Issa. There's a klal normally every chumrah leads to a kula, but every kula can also lead to chumrah. You know. Yeah. That's the Sma. Take a look in the Pisrei Tshuva, letter Hey, halfway down the first column. We didn't see this already.
We started it. We're at the Eno Chayav Leilach.
No, we saw that. Letter Tesvav, sorry. Eno Chayav Leilach Lahoyed. Tesvav. Kosov. Nesek Doile Bar. Is chavav miloshen zenira. The chiyuva leka. The Talmid Chacham is not mechuyev to testify. Aval im yirtze Talmid Chacham limchal kvaydai matzi leilach. If the Talmid Chacham says it's fine, I'm meichel covered, I'll testify. Right? He's an oni. I want to help him out. He's right. He's allowed to testify. The Elim agrees with this. If he wants to testify, can sounds good. V'shum nitpasi v'shuvas araz. Ravaz is one of the latest early Rishonim. V'risi sham simen kufi base. Kufi test shkosov. Sheish misasayve de'ena yochalim chalak v'aydai. It's a machlaikas. Some say Talmid Chacham can't be mochel v'aydai. V'chein no again adkan. You can't be mochel in your covered. It's definitely very hard to mochel in your covered. But he says any yochalim chalak v'aydai. Aval huzal hiskim the yochalim chalak v'aydai. The Radvaz himself says yesh misasayve that you can't be mochel uncovered. He holds that you can't be Michael uncovered. He's right. Why? The Chachma Shemachal Akvay the Kvay the Machal. Some foolish Gemara Chachma Shemachal Akvay the Kvay the Machal. The Chayr Tzarchion Kasha. Mimasha Kazam Shuvas Chavas Yair. Big Kasha. Why? Simon Reish. Hey, that is. V'yesh Oid Nafkamina B'Plukta the Rambam Varosh Gabi Zokan V'Ein Elfi Kvoidoi. So you got this Chacham who finds like this dead rat on the floor. It's like to give this thing back. Can it be Michael Lens covered? The hot the Kaimanon Shein Kohen Gadol Meir Rak B'fnei HaMelech. Kohen Gadol can only testify in front of the Melech. Sanhedrin Reishut Ches. Im Yitzel Lahaid Yirashai. Chein Tzuba Merabonon the other Sadus of Mesach Shavuos Taf Lamed La Rosh Ein Rishai. So basically, the Rosh says, the Tam Chacham, he finds something on the floor that's not the Vichvaidai to pick up. You see a Tam Chacham, you see Rav Elyashiv bending down, picking up, a toy on the floor, It's a Bizayin. It's Bizayin Atayra. So the Rosh, Einay Rishai, the Tam Chacham is not allowed to pick it up, right? But the Rambam, he's allowed to. He has a bizayin from it. So, alright, the Rav Chavasya, Medam Ma'al plug the Rambam Marosh. So the Chavasya says the shaila here, whether you could be testify in a lower court, is the same shaila as if the Tam Chacham is out to pick up something. It's the same shaila. Can the Tam Chacham be Meichel Kvaydai? Can you? You're a big Tam Chacham. This is why I'm so mechan every time I see something on the street. It's not if you Kvaydai to start picking up the something to give it back. Not much design for me. But if he's a efshel farish kamedas atok mashpirish kastak daila, dim not so shy. You can't say here. There's explanation in the Torah why. Listen to this line. This is a beautiful line. Dim not so shy. If you want to, you can. The imkain, that's true. Yedivra tokan shaleikadas of a rosh. Then the Torah is not going to hold like the Rosh's father. In other words, the Rosh's father says, Eina Rishai, he can't be Michael. Why would the Torah now Pascha, not like his father, that if he wants to, he can testify? You hear? So that's the kasha. Can this guy be Michael? Is covered. The Rosh says by a Metzia, you can't be Michael, you're covered. It's a design for you to pick up. You find a piece of, you find the candy on the floor. It's a design to start giving it back. You're Talmud Chacham. It's a design for you. You ain't a Michael. You're not allowed to be Michael. Says the Chavos Shah, it's the same shaila if you can pick up a candy as if you can testify in base and cotton. Ulam b'seif et Teiras Chaim Mesechah Shavuos Kasov Chotzuv b'Rabbanan l'Cherem Mashma da'asel mezel. The lashon of the Gemara that we learned, it's mashma. It's also for him to go and testify. V'chein mashma k'sas melashon Rambam shekasov yesh lo ilei mana. Okay, it's a very long piece. I'm going to wrap it up here. We'll finish tomorrow, Be'ezus Hashem.
We're done now?
I need a pen, huh?
There was a young
I have one.
There was a young Dayan who came to the Bezdin and he saw a young lady sitting there crying. He said, "Why are you crying?" I went on holiday with my husband and my husband went in the taxi in Morocco. He never came back. I can't get married. And I have no Edom. The Dayan had Rahmanas. She started